Okay, yeah. Good evening, everyone. I think for the online, my voice is clear for all of you. Can you please confirm your online? Online, are you able to hear me? Is my voice clear? Okay. So, in the last class, we have ended with the VPC, right? Sorry, VPC not S3 buckets, right? Okay. So, in today's session, I'm going to talk about the concept of VPC. Which one? So, let's go and understand what is VPC and how it is going to work. So, let me remove the existing servers. Okay, I don't have anything. Okay, so we can start now. In today's session, I'm going to start the concept of VPC. Which one? So before that, like it is the new dashboard for our AWS console. If you go and see, hello, I'm Amazon Q, your AWS generative AI assistant. See, like it is giving the new features to get the AI assistants. For example, in AWS, if I want me to like show list of all the buckets, is it showing me the prompt or not, sir? Just give and list my all S3 buckets. So in my account, whatever the buckets that I'm gonna having, if you go and see, it is going to tell. So if you run the AWS S3 ls command, you are going to See the buckets, okay? It is the new generative AI from the Amazon web services, okay? But it is not like that much of important. You can ignore this off. So let's start the concept of AWS VPC. So let me go for the paint here. So here if I go and see, so the concept of VPC stand for virtual private cloud. What is the concept of VPC here? Like full form of VPC? And the main purpose is to provide privacy, security, and isolation for our AWS environment. See, in our AWS, we are launching a lot of servers. We need to have privacy, security, and isolation for all the resources in the AWS. That is the reason why we are using the AWS. Okay. So virtual private cloud is similar to virtual network. That means like your VPN resembles the traditional networking of that you operate in your own data center with the benefits of scalable infrastructure of AWS, or simply AWS virtual private cloud is nothing but it's a virtual network, or it's your own data center on our AWS actually. So if somebody asks you why to use VPC, first of all, privacy, security, and preventing loss of data. See, I have a server. Anybody can able to log into the server. But if I give VPC, the people within my network can able to log into the server. Anybody cannot able to log in. So that is the primary advantage of using the AWS VPC. If we are not comfortable when we use a public network cloud service like AWS in order to use their services, this VPC provide extra layer of security so they can decide their own network. For example, let's go and see. You bought a mobile phone. You bought a mobile phone. So when you bought a mobile phone, basically your mobile phone will comes with the normal pad. Like for example, like without any password, it will come. But why you put the password? For security. Here also AWS will give the cloud. It will give lot of resources, EC2, okay, load balancer, auto scaling group. This everything comes with normal view only. But if I want to add security, here we are going to use integration of VPC. By default, all our services will attach with a default VPC. Which one? That means even though if I don't create my VPC, AWS will give one default VPC for me. Okay. So I need not to worry about anything there. So here it gives only security but not privacy. So when we launch an EC2 instance, they will provide VPC by default. But in real time, we need to customize our VPC for getting security, privacy, and preventing loss of data like that. So now let's come to the features of VPC here. So VPC is a virtual private network in the AWS cloud. So within the AWS region, I can create maximum 5 VPCs. How many VPCs I can create? 5. But it is not fixed. If you want, you can extend also. And how many subnets I can create? 200 by default. But if I want, I can extend. So we can allocate maximum 5 elastic IPs in our console. And once we create the VPC, there will be two things are going to create DHCP and NACL. DHCP called as Dynamic Host Control Protocol and NACL called as Network Access Control List. I'll explain what are those in details. A VPC is confined to one region. That means if I create on VPC on Northern Virginia, it won't go for Mumbai. It will stay on Northern Virginia only. But if I want to connect a VPC for two regions with the help of VPC peering, it is possible. But by default, VPC is restricted to only one region. So VPCs are always created in the regions, but not in the availability zones. Once VPC is created, you cannot change its CADR doc. For example, let's go and see. I have a VPC here. It is a default VPC given by AWS. Are you seeing your default VPC? It is a default VPC. It is given by AWS Cloud. So this is the other VPC which I might create for last like other session. Let me delete the rest of the VPCs. Wait. See, this is going to be my default VPC. Are you seeing CADR block? CADR stand for classless interdomain routing. Okay. So if I want to allocate an IP to my resource, I need to first of all decide CADR. Based upon CADR only, my IPs will come. For example, if my CADR is 172, my servers will be coming with 172 IP address only. If my CADR is 10.0.0, my servers will get the IP address of 10 range only. Now, if my CADR is 192 series, my servers will get the IP range of, that means based upon your CADR, then only our servers are going to get the IP address. Fine. Okay. So here if I go and see, it is my default VPC. Okay. So by default, AWS will give one VPC per every region and all our resources are going to take the default VPC. But in real time, we don't give default VPC. Why? Because default VPC will not have full protection. So we need to create our own network in order to access our resources internally. Okay. So coming to the next point here, if you need a different CADR sizes, you need to create a new VPC. And one more thing, for a single VPC, we can go and give 5 CADR ranges. How many ranges I can give? 5 CADR. Okay. Like that. And next year, finally. So in real time, you need to understand what are the different types of VPCs basically we have. We have two clouds in general. One is AWS cloud, that is public cloud, everybody know. Second one is China cloud actually. Which one? So from our internet, China is not going to use any resource. China will have the separate internet. Here also AWS will provide the complete network for all around the group, but for China, they have the different network. Why? Because Chinese people don't use the normal internet like we do use. Okay. So you need to understand the types of VPCs in the real time. So if you go and see how many type of VPCs you are seeing here, private VPCs. This is the range actually, private IP range. Okay. 10 series, 172 series, 192 series. Basically 10 series, 172, 192, these three will be the private IPs. I mean like private series. Rest of the every series is going to be your public IPs only. So in real time, if you are seeing a private IP, it might be starting with 10 series, it might be 172, or it might be, let me show you. Here in the Northern Virginia, I have 3 different servers. How many servers do I have? 3. Go for Jenkins. Are you seeing the private range here? What is the range here? Slave 1, 172. Slave 2 also 170. So remember, if a IP address is coming from 10 series or 172 or 192, it must be a private IP address only. So in real time, generally we use 10 series for big networks, very big networks. Okay. So 172 for medium networks and 192 for small network. If your network is very big, go and use 10 series. Now, if it is not big, it is medium. So you can use 172. No, it is very small. I can use 192. In my real time, what we done, So basically, 10 series we give for our on-prem servers. On-prem means physical servers. And for cloud servers, we have given 172. Why? Because by seeing the IP address, we can able to find it is cloud server or on-prem server. So basically, we have two, cloud and on-prem. We almost all have 30 servers in the on-prem and rest of the 70 in the cloud actually for some X clients. Okay. So our IT team, what they done, So by seeing the server IP address, nobody can able to remember it is public, I mean like on-prem or cloud. So what they have done, they have given 10 series for on-prem servers and 172 for now by seeing the private IP, can we able to identify is it a cloud server or on-prem or not, sir? That's it. So this is where we used the IP addresses. Now coming to the types of VPC, basically we have two VPCs. First one default VPC, second one is default VPC means it is going to come with the default. By default, all your servers, load balancer, auto scaling group will use the default. Till now we use default only, but here I'm gonna show you how to create the custom VPC. Okay, custom VPC means you can create your own network. You can create your own network. So if you go and see, it is the high level architecture, what exactly you are going to see. But this architecture is completely bullshit. I don't teach this one. Why? Because if I teach you, you are going to get a lot of mess up. I'm going to teach the VPC in the best way. So you will never ever confuse in this concept again. Okay. So let's take the example of a home. The entire concept of VPC I'm going to teach with the help of a house concept. Which concept? House. Let's see. For example, I construct a new home. If I want to protect my home, I need to construct a very big wall or not, sir? What this wall will do? This wall will be an extra layer of security for my home. Okay. If I construct a house, if I construct a very big wall, are robbers going to enter to my home? Why? Because the wall is very big. They can't able to climb it. Here also, here this wall is nothing but our VPC. Wall is nothing but what? VPC. I am writing. Okay, the concept is going to be amazing, but please listen while I'm telling. VPC is nothing but a wall for my home actually. Is the point number one clear? Sir, inside wall, what I construct? House. What I construct? House. For example, let's construct, I have constructed a house actually. Okay. So now inside the house, what you have in generally? I'll be having rooms, correct or not, sir? These rooms, like I'm gonna take 3 rooms. One is hall, okay? That is your web server. Second one is gonna be bedroom, which is nothing but your application server. And the third one is gonna be database server, which is your storeroom, let's say. Okay. So here I'm gonna take hall as my web server. Let me add some colors for it. At least our life is not colorful. Let's make the paint colorful. Okay. So the reason I'm adding colors is to identify things very easily. So it is my web server. Okay. And it is my app server. Okay. And it is my database server. Which color I can give? Yep. Okay. So I'm giving these 3 here. Fine. First of all, I created a home. Okay. This is my home actually. Okay. So to protect the home, what I created? Wall. Okay. So now inside the home, what I have here? Rooms. First one is what here? It's my hall. First one is nothing but my hall. Okay. So this hall is nothing but my web server. What is the hall here? Web server. Second one is nothing but my bedroom. Okay. That is my app server. And finally, third one is gonna be storeroom. It is nothing but my app DB server. Okay. Storeroom. Is it clear for all of you now? So now tell me, if somebody is passing through my home, can I allow them to see my hall? Generally, hall is okay. Like if somebody is passing, definitely hall is visible. But can I allow them to see my bedroom? And can I allow them to see my storeroom? No, I can allow only hall. That means it is the public subnet. Which one? Public subnet is nothing but if I want to give access for the user. Okay, if I want to give access for the user, I need to create this one public. Why? Because that is publicly accessible. Okay. So in real time, web server will show the content. Can we give access to the web server or not, sir? Yes, but app server, database server, I cannot give access. Why? Because there we are having the code actually. What we are having? Code. So in real time, your web server need to be launched on anyways public subnet. Which subnet? Public subnet. And your app server is gonna be private. And database is also going to be your private. So it is also going to be your private. So first of all, VPC is nothing but wall to protect my home. And here I'm gonna create a network. Okay, so network is nothing but my home actually. Inside the network, I'm having the rooms actually. What I'm having? Rooms. What is rooms here? Rooms are nothing but my subnets. Which one? Subnets. What is the meaning of subnet generally? Subnet is nothing but in a big network. If I take a small part of the network, that is called as subnet. Subnet is nothing but subnetwork. In a network, if I take a small part, that is what I can call as subnet. Here, if I want to launch web server, I need to create a web subnet. If I want to launch app server, I need to create a app subnet. If I want to launch database server, I want to create a database subnets. So first of all, you need to create the VPC. Second, you are going to create the subnets. What we are going to create? Let me delete them. Let me write one more time. So I'm writing like this. Okay. VPC is nothing but walls. And next, subnet is nothing but your rooms. First of all, let's create them. Guys, trust me, VPC is going to be very easy for all of you at the end of the class. So if you listen them carefully, I'm betting you, you will never ever forget the VPC in your life. So first of all, what I want to create here? Wall. After that, I want to create rooms. That means first VPC, second subnet. Let's go into. So here I'm going to take the Mumbai region. So click on launch instance. So directly if I go and launch my instance, I'll be getting the default VPC. But here what I want to create? Go ahead and create VPC. So by default, we have the default VPC. Okay. So I'm going to give this as default. Name I'm going to give it as default. In real time, never ever delete this one. Okay. And don't use and don't delete. Click on create VPC. My VPC name is going to be Netflix. Which one? So IPv4 CIDR. I already said you. CIDR is nothing but classless interdomain routing. So basically for private IP, how many ranges we can give? 10 series, 172. So now I'm gonna give 10.0.0.0 slash I'm gonna give 24. Sir, what is slash 24? That is what we can call as subnet masking. Which one? Let me explain what is subnet masking at the end. As of now, I'm not explaining, but at the end I'll explain. So tenancy, default or dedicate. Dedicate is nothing but you are going to get a separate host, but it is going to be very costly. So I'm gonna go for default. So now, first of all, my VPC got created. That means I construct the wall. Now, after that, what I'm going to create here? Rooms. Rooms are nothing but your. So let's go and create subnets. Here, how many servers I want to launch? 3. Web server, app, database. For web server, I want one subnet. For app server, I want second subnet. And third one. So for your clarity, I'm going to take 2 subnets, public and private. Basically, we have 2 privates. Now, create one private for your clarity. Click on subnets. So these 3 are default subnet, guys. These 3 are default subnets, but I'm going to create my own subnet. So I'm going to create for Netflix server. So subnet 1 will be web subnet. Which subnet it is? Availability zone. Let's say I want to create this on AP South 1A. And CIDR I want to give 10.0.0.0 slash 24 I can give. Okay. I can get 256 IPs. Sir, what is 256 IPs? I'll explain. As of now, don't worry. So I'm going to click on create subnet, but I want to create one more subnet also for private. It is for app subnet. So availability zone, I'm going to create on 1B or 1A. Anything is fine. It's completely up to your choice. Okay. So this time I'm gonna give 10.0.0.0 slash 24 will not work this time. If I try to give it not work. So I'm gonna give 1/24. If I click on submit, oh wait. Let's say 26. I can take 26 here. Wait. 10.0.0.0 slash 24 I'm giving for the first one. And I can give slash 16 also. I'm giving slash 16 as of now. Oh, wait. 16 not work. 26. Here are you seeing it is overlapping here? Why it is overlapping means why? Because I'm giving from the same IP address range. But don't worry, I'll explain like why it is overlapping. First of all, here I have given two things. Okay. So I'm just gonna change one thing here. Wait. I'm gonna put this slash 24 10.0.1.0 slash 24. What is happening? Wait. It is the first VPC. Okay, 10.0.0.24, correct? Oh, wait. I have given slash 24, right? So I need to like go for the next range here. 24 will not work. Wait. So I can go for 26. 36, not 26. Okay, I'm taking slash 26 as a submit mask. Fine. Wait. I'm gonna take the least range. Why? Because I need to give slash 16 or like some values only I want to give. Why? Because like let me tell you. Here while describing the ranges here, I forgot a point to implement here. I can use only some ranges. Okay. So slash 16 and slash 24. I need to check this one. Let me delete this one and let me recreate. There is a small mistake I have done initially. Let me correct it now. So click on create VPC. Name of the VPC will be Netflix. Okay. So cider I am gonna take 10.0.0.0 slash 16 I'm taking. What I'm taking? And your cider range must be 16 to, that means you need to take on this range only. Okay. So I'm taking slash 16 as my default. Create VPC. After that, I'm gonna create subnets now. So coming to subnets, I'm gonna create for Netflix. I'm gonna create two subnets. One is web subnet. So I'm gonna take it on 1A. Insider, I'm going to take 10.0.0.0 slash 24. Sorry, slash 24 is in between 16 and 28 or not, sir? I can take this one. Okay. Second subnet I'm going to create is, it is for my app subnet. Which one? So here, I'm going to take the range of 10.0.1.0 slash 24 I'm taking. What I'm taking? Slash 24. So it's fine. So now I create how many subnets here? Two subnets. That means construction of my wall is done and construction of my subnet is also done. Is it clear for all of you know? First 2 points. Online, can you please confirm me are the first 2 points clear for all of you or not? Okay. So now come to the main point. Sir, I create the VPC and I create the subnet. Now inside the subnet, I want to launch a EC2 instance. What I want to launch? So first of all, I go to my EC2. I launch a web server. Okay. So launch EC2. Here I'm going to give it as web server. What I'm going to give it as? Web server. Web server you need to launch on which subnet, guys? Web subnet. So select a key pair. Wait, I have which keeper in July batch. Give me 1 second. I need to check which keeper I have. Which keeper I downloaded recently. I have this keeper anyway, so I can use this one. So in the SH, I'm gonna give here all traffic. What I'm gonna give here? That's it. But here I need to select one more thing called Netflix. Here's my VPC. So I want to select which subnet, web or app now? Web. Why? Because I'm launching the web. Okay. So now what I'll be doing, so whenever if you are going for a new VPC, you need to create a new security group, right? Because till now, all of my security groups on default VPC, but I'm creating a new VPC. So definitely I need to create a new security. So coming to new security here, I'm going to give the security group name as web security group. Okay. Guys, in real time, we allow SSH as well as HTTP only. These are the only two rules we allow for the web server. What we are going to allow? SSH to launch to the server and like HTTP is to connect. And you need to allow HTTPS also, but here I'm using HTTP only. Okay. That's it. So after that, what I'll be doing, I'll be going and click and launch instance. Now, if I try to connect to my EC2 instance, okay, and here in my GitHub, Raham Sheikh, all setups, I'm trying to launch the Netflix application. So see, currently it is on pending status. So go to the Netflix script. There's the Netflix script here. So if I try to connect now ultimately what I'm going to get is I'm going to get an error. Why? Because here, do you have public IP address here? By default, we need to enable the public IP address. Okay, whenever if you create a custom VPC, your public IP address is going to be disabled. Now, how do I enable this one? Very simple. Okay, so if I want to make public IP address enable, I can do it on two ways. What is the thing, already while creating the EC2 instance, I'm telling, see, while creating the EC2 instance, if you select the subnet, are you seeing auto SN public IP enable now? This is by default enabled for default network. But if I select my custom network, by default, it is not going to enable. We need to make it enable. Okay. So if I go for web subnet, so I need to make it as enable. So, but somehow I forgot to enable now. So in that case, what I can do, very simple. Go to your subnet part in the VPC. In the section of VPC, you need to go to your subnets. In the subnet, in the section of web, are you seeing this one? Here we need to enable this particular public IP. So click on actions, click on edit subnet settings. Are you seeing auto SN public IP? That is by default going to disable. So somehow if you forgot to enable, this is the way how you can come back and enable. So if I click on save, and if I come back, currently I don't have public IP. So click on refresh now. Are you seeing the public IP address is coming now? Are you seeing it, sir? Now why? Because this is already created. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to recreate one more time. So it is already created now. So I'm not going to use this one. So remember, while using the default VPC, by default public subnet will come. But if you are using custom VPC, we need to enable, otherwise it won't come. So I'm going to deleting this one and I'm going to create a new one here. So now this is my web server. I'm going to take this. Now coming to the instance type T2 micro. So I'm going to take the Docker keeper. I'm going to take the security group. So here already we discussed. So basically, if I select the Netflix here, I won't get the default. So I need to create a new one, but already I create a new security group. So I can use the same thing here. So in the existing one, are you seeing the security group? I can use the same thing. But the other thing is here, auto assign public IP address is disabled here. So we need to make it as, or otherwise I won't get the public IP. Already we seen this. Correct or not, sir? Yes. So I'm gonna search for running servers here. So guys, concept is a bit complicated, but I'm gonna show you what are the common mistakes you are going to do in the practical part. Without showing the mistakes, I can go ahead. But if I show the mistakes, then only you can understand from where you are stuck in the practical point. Is it running now? If I try to connect, I have public IP address. Why? Because this time I have enabled. So now if I try to connect, I won't get it. I won't get the EC2 connection. See, it is going to keep scroll, but you won't get the output. Are you getting it now? Why it is not coming means, let me tell you. Sir, here, see in this diagram, I have a wall and I have a hall also. Okay. So to this hall, my friend want to come here. Who want to come here? Friend is nothing but user. Now user is trying to access the web server. But is it connecting, sir? No. Why? Because see, when my friend want to come to my home, I need to open the gate or not, sir? Without opening the gate, how can he come to my home, sir? Is it practically possible? So I need to open the gate called internet gateway. Which one? Internet gateway is something similar to your normal home gate. For example, see, if a user want to access any server, or even if I want to access any server, first of all, I need to have something called as internet gateway. Internet gateway is nothing but it is going to allow users from the internet to access our servers. So what I'll be doing? So here for this user, I'm going to give the IGW connection. What I'm going to give here? IGW stand for internet gateway. Without internet gateway, a user cannot able to communicate to the server. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go and create a internet gateway. Are you seeing internet gateway? Click on internet gateway. So create. So Netflix IGW. And I'm creating this internet gateway for web server. So I can give here web IGW. That means web internet gateway. Click on internet gateway. And after that, I need to go click on actions, click on attach VPC. I need to give the VPC to Netflix. Now is my internet gateway attached here? Then if I go and click on refresh, am I able to connect it or not, sir? Still, I won't able to connect. Why? Because I need to open the door now. Sir, you open the gate only. For your home, we have the gate. Correct or not, sir? But without opening the door, how will he come to the wall? Like hall? See, it is very easy. You open the gate for your friend to come to your home. But you want to come to my hall. For the hall, we have the door or not, sir? If I don't open the door, how will he come to the hall? Is it practically possible? No. So here I need to open something called as door. That is what I can call as route table. What I call it as? Route table. Route table is nothing but which is going to allow traffic to my internet gateway to web server. See, already traffic is coming to internet gateway. From the internet gateway, if traffic want to come to web server, first of all, we need to give the traffic to route table. What is the purpose of route table? Take the traffic from the internet and gives it to the server. Now let's go into. So I want to create something called as route table. Okay. First of all, VPC, subnet, internet gateway finally. So click on route table, create route table. My route table is web route table. Okay. And I'm going to create this for Netflix. Click on create route table. Now coming to edit routes, I need to allow the traffic, right? So click on add route. I'm going to allow the every traffic from the internet. That means any user from the internet. It might be user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, any user from any region. Okay. If they try to access my server, allow the traffic of user from internet gateway to the route table. So I'm telling the same thing here. If anyone from the internet try to access my web server, allow the user from the which gateway? Internet gateway. So type here internet gateway. Are you seeing internet gateway? This is my internet gateway. Click on save. And I want to attach this route table to which subnet here? Web or app? Web. So click on edit subnet association. Go and click on web. Now if I go ahead and see, it will connect. Is it connecting or not, sir? No? Of course it will connect. Oh, wait. Let me relog it. So this is the thing. Click on connect. Sometimes what happens, due to cache, it won't load generally. Okay. Sometimes. So I'm removing the cache here. Is it working now? No. Sir, you have given everything, sir, but why it is not working still? Why? Because if you read a message here, instance is not on public subnet. Generally, where we want to create our web server subnet? Public, but where we created? On private. Okay. So sometimes while practicing, you might forget to give the public or private. Unfortunately, if you create your subnet in private instead of public, are you seeing this one? If I click on this link, I need to go to this document and I need to read everything. But what I'll do, simply I go back and I'll show you how to create the public and private. Okay. But for that purpose, again, I need to remove all of these things. Okay. So it is going to become practice for you in a short and sweet manner. So I'm terminating. I'm going to remove everything. I'm going to remove the route tables. I'm going to remove the subnet. Everything I'm going to remove. Okay. Let me remove the route table. But before that, subnets you need to delete. Go for subnets. So this both I'm deleting, sir. So click on delete subnets. I'm going to show you like how to select the public and private while creating the subnets. Okay. Delete the routes, delete the internet gateway, everything. I'm going to delete everything here. Okay. So click on detach from VPC and you're going to delete this now. So I have only what now here? I have only my VPC. Sir, once if you create a VPC, what is the next step you're going to do here? I'm going to create a, already you know. Okay. So here I have given the step-by-step point. What I'm going to create is subnets. What I'm going to create? Subnets. So what I'll be doing, I'm going to click on create VPC. Okay. So, oh, VPC already done, right? I'm going to create subnet. Subnets. Wait, this app service is not yet deleted. Let me delete this one. Like I'm just cleaning everything here. Okay. Nothing new. Okay. Anyways, subnet, first of all, I'm going to give here. I'm going to create for Netflix. First subnet will be, I'm going to give it as Netflix. Okay. Web subnet. And I'm going to take the availability zone of US East 1A. Insider, I'm going to take 10.0.0.0/24. First of all, I'll create the web subnet. Next, what I want to create here? App subnet. So click on Netflix. I'm going to create here Netflix app subnet. So availabilities I'm going to create on US East 1B or 1A, anything is fine. So cider block 10.0.1.0/24. Overlapping. I have given the correct CID here only. Wait, 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot. No, no, basically it is overlapping due to this subnet. Already I have a subnet, right? With the same IP. Are you seeing the app subnet? It is having the same IP range. That is the reason. Network interface. Where is the network interface? I don't see any network interface here. Wait. Here I'm not seeing any network interface, but still why it is not deleting? No, no. My question is here like I don't have any network interface, but it is showing there is some network interface for it. Even my servers are not yet created here. This is very strange. It should not come like this basically. Yeah, it is deleting now. Delete. Okay. So I can recreate the same thing. So click on subnet. I'm gonna create for Netflix, and here I'm gonna create for Netflix. This is which one? App subnet. So availability zone, I'm gonna take it as 1B, and cider I can give the same cider node 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 1/24. So click on create subnet. Okay. So I have two subnets now. One is for my web, second one is for my app. After that, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna create the internet gateway. Why? Because already, without internet gateway, can we able to attach to VPC here? No. So what I'll be doing, I'll be going here, click on internet gateway. So internet gateway, I'm gonna create for Netflix web internet gateway. Basically, internet gateway is only for web servers, okay? And this I want to attach to my VPC. Click on attach VPC, select here Netflix. After you create internet gateway, what I'm gonna create now? Route table. Why? Because internet gateway will take traffic from the internet. But if the traffic want to go to web server, I need to have the route table. So let's go and create a route table. So in the route table, this is the last route table I created. I'm going to delete this route table. Why? Because I want to recreate the same thing. So click on create route table. So my route table is web RT. Okay, stand for web route table. This is for Netflix. Click on create route table. And now here I need to allow the traffic. So click on add route. So I'm going to give the traffic from internet gateway. Which gateway? So select internet gateway. So click on save changes. Next, I want to associate this subnet to which one, sir? I want to associate the subnet to which one? Web, but I'm not associating now. Why? Because if I associate, it is going to give me somewhat of mistakes. I'm not associating now. So what I'll be doing, so if you go to the subnet association part, edit subnet. So I need to select here web subnet. Now try to directly go and create an instance here. So click on launch instance. So it is my Netflix web server. Go ahead and take this one now. Amazon Linux 2. Oh, wait, man. Okay. So next here, T2 micro, key pair. I'm taking Docker key pair. So sub here coming to VPC. Now select here Netflix. Now I want to go for which one, web or app here? Web. And so by default, auto-ASN need to be enabled. So here what I'm going to do is, so security group, already I have the security group created for the last same VPC. So I'm going to use a web security group here. What I'm going to use? No, sir, if I want to create a new one, just to go in here, Netflix, web SG. So I'm using SH anywhere as well as I'm using HTTP from anywhere. Okay, that's it. So if I click on launch instance, now automatically my instance will be launched. So now again, I'm explaining the concept. First of all, I create the VPC. Inside the VPC, what I created? VPC I'm comparing with wall and subnet I'm comparing with room. Next, what I created here? Internet gateway. What I created? Sir, what is internet gateway here? Internet gateway is nothing but your gate. Gate for our home. Sir, if I open the gate, then only anybody can able to come to my home. If I don't open the gate, nobody can able to come. Here also, if I have internet gateway, then only user will access the any server. If I don't have internet gateway, from the internet, no user can access my server. Then how can they get the application? No. After that, the next thing will be here. Internet gateway is nothing but gate. Next one will be route table. Which one? Route table. Route table is nothing but your door actually. Route table is nothing but door. So if a user want to come from gate to my hall, he need to pass the door or not, sir? Here also, if a user want to access the web server, first of all, you need to contact to internet gateway. From the internet gateway, you need to go to route table. From the route table, then only you can be able to come to my server. So what I'll be doing here, I'm going to connect to my web server. So I can use mobile system or still I can use browser. So click on connect. Okay. So this time if I click on connect, automatically I can be able to connect to my EC2 instance. Is it connecting now? First time it is not connecting. Why? Because there is no route table. There is no internet gateway. But do I have both of them or not, sir? Yes. So now do here, run the script sudo -i netflix.sh. Now open your mobiles, all of you. Copy the public IP address and just paste on the browser. You will get the Netflix application. Not check me. So if I go and see, it is a public IP address. Okay. Online, you can check from the IP address, and offline, you can take the IP address from here and you can do copy paste. It is IP. So if I click on refresh, automatically I'll be getting the Netflix application. I'll see Netflix application. All of you check it. It is the IP address. Are you able to get this or not, sir? Online, can you confirm me? Fine. So you can see it is working like this. So from this, my user is able to go to internet gateway. From the internet gateway, the request is coming to route table. From the route table, again, he is going to access the web server or not, sir? It is how the real-time architecture is going to work. So online, is this part clear for all of you? Can you please confirm me once? Till now, is it clear for all of you online? Can you please confirm? Okay, fine. So next year, what I'm going to do is, so in the next part, sir, currently my user is on where? He is on web server. It is to show the application. But if I want to use the application, need to go to, let's say your friend come to hall. You invited him, he come to hall. Okay. Sir, I invited my friend to my hall. But can I give the permission to him to enter my bedroom? No. Why? Because it is my private space. Correct or not? In real time also, our application servers are going to be launched on private subnet. Which subnet? Private subnet means user cannot able to enter. Sir, if user cannot able to enter, how can he use the application from the web server. See, my friend is asking, I want some water. But where is water? Water is inside my bedroom. I don't want to allow him to my bedroom. So what I do, instead of he goes to the bedroom, I can go to the bedroom and bring water from him or not, sir? Here also in the same way, what I'll be doing, I'm not giving the user to access the app server. Why? Because it is on private subnet. Which subnet? So instead of user going to the private subnet, I am bringing the data from the private subnet to public subnet with the help of a concept called NAT gateway. Which one? NAT gateway is nothing but which is going to helpful to connect to the private subnet. That means whatever the data in the private subnet, if user want to see it, he can be see through the web server only. Which server? In the web server, I install the NAT. Through this, whatever the data is on app server, he can be able to see through the web. But he cannot able to log into the app. But he can get the data what is inside the app. So what I'll be doing now? Here, I'll be going and creating the application server. Which server? So I'm gonna give Netflix app server. So I'm gonna click on launch instance, Docker Cupid. Subnet I'm editing now. So here what I'm gonna do is take Netflix. Okay. Auto is in public IP. I need to make enable or disable. Disable. Why? Because it's my private subnet. Which one? For private subnet, we should not have any kind of public IPs. Okay. So I'm gonna make it as disable. And a security group, we have given a security group. I can use same thing, but you can create different. Basically, we can create different, but I'm using same thing here. So click on launch instance. Now this user try to launch, like if user try to connect to this server, he cannot able to connect. Why? Because it doesn't have any public IP address. It doesn't have. So if we don't have any public IP address, how can we connect, sir? It's not possible. You can see Netflix app server. So what I'll be doing, I'm going to click on connect. So if I try to connect, I am receiving connect option here. Now why? Because I don't have the public. Why we don't have the public IP? Because our server is on private. So but still if I want to connect and if I want to get the data, so what I'm going to install here? NAT. NAT stand for network address transition. NAT stand for network address transition. So what is the primary functionality of NAT gateway is, if I want to connect to private subnet through the public subnet, I can use something called as NAT. So let me go and create a NAT instance here. That is NAT gateway. Go back, create NAT gateway. And one more thing, every point is written here. So nothing to worry. Okay. So go back to the NAT, click on create NAT. My NAT gateway, what I'm trying to do is Netflix NAT. And I'm going to create the NAT subnet in which server? Web or app? See for which server I'm selecting here? Web. Which one? Web. Okay. So make sure I'm selecting the web. Why? Because I want to install NAT on web server only. So Netflix web server. Connectivity public. And I'm going to give an elastic IP. See, NAT gateway will come with the elastic IP by default. Click on create NAT gateway. Sir, I created the NAT gateway. So then this time can I connect means of course I can connect. But if I want to send the traffic, I need to have again route table or not, sir? So again, I'm going to create a route table. Why? Because without route table, there is no incoming and outgoing traffic to any server. Okay. So go and create the one more route table. Click on create route table. This route table is Netflix app route table. VPC is for Netflix. Click on route table and after edit routes. So I want to allow the traffic. All traffic I want to allow. To which gateway? Internet or NAT this time? NAT, correct. So you can type NAT also here if you don't find. Type here NAT, yeah. So it is my NAT gateway. Click on save. And after that, coming to subnet association. Okay. So I need to give which subnet, web or app now? No. Web already I have installed for NAT. I need to associate the route table to which server. If you go and see, this route table is sending traffic to which server? App. So what I want to select here? App. Correct. So now if I go back, now I want to launch my which server? App. But currently I'm on web server. So if I want to connect to my app server, okay, I need to connect it through the web server only. That means my friend want to get the water, but where is the water? In the bedroom. I am making him to you stay on hall. I'll go. I'll bring the water for you. That means if I want to connect it to app server, I need to connect from web. Simply if I want to go to hall, sorry, if I want to go to bedroom, I need to go from hall or not, sir? Same concept. So how I can do means, first of all, here, while connected to our private subnet, are you seeing the data here? Example. You need to simply copy paste this on web server. Where do you want to copy paste? But before that, I need to have the key pair on my local. What is the key pair I'm having here? So go here and give vm docker.pem. And in my local, I have docker.pem here. Whatever the content you are seeing, copy paste this one. And give the command chmod 400 docker.pem. So now simply what you're going to do is copy the example and directly paste it. Currently I'm on which server? Web, but I'm accessing the app server here. Just to give yes here. Am I able to access my app server or not, sir? How can you tell? Check the private IP. What is the private IP address of app server? 10.0.1.201. Here I'm missing 10.0.1.201 or not, sir? That means I am accessing the private server through the public server. That means app server I'm accessing through the web server. Correct or not? Point number one. And point number two is how will the app server will receive the request from web server through the NAT gateway and route table. Let's go and check can we able to receive traffic or not. Simply what I can do, I can use the command called ping command. Which command? I am checking the response from web server. Are you seeing web server public IP address? Am I getting the response or not, sir? It's not coming, man. Are you seeing the response? No, it got stuck, right? Let me stop it. See, here also I have given the same thing. I'm using the ping command. Which command? Ping. After editing the routes, you need to give the ping here. So ping 79.83. Go with private. Sir, is it giving the response or not, sir? Is my ping running? No, it is not running. Why? Because it will take some time to activate. Every process we have done correctly. Okay. By default, it won't give me the response immediately. Just wait for some time. If I wait for some time, automatically I'll be getting the response. Wait. Here, one more thing. Whatever the content I'm giving, so here every step-by-step process I have given in the notes. So what you can do is just see the notes and do practice. That's it. I think it will come now. Just go and check. Basically, you can see data is transmitting. Are you seeing 4 packets of data is transmitting? It's not showing it lively, but still data is transmitting. Okay. Even see, I'm stopping it for some time. Are you seeing 3 packets transmitted? Data is going, but it is not showing. It will take some time. Let me reconnect one more time to the web server. I'm going to connect through MoveX. Man, it's lagging. What is happening? There is a Docker PEM file, right? Docker kp.pem. Something is happened today to this terminal. I have the Docker PEM file, but from the keypair folder, I'm not able to access. So go to cd keypair. In the keypair, I was seeing docker.pem here. Okay. I'm trying to access, but it is not working. See, are you seeing this one? It is still in that exec format error. What's happening? Okay, let me do one thing. Let me connect on this way. sh ec2 user. Copy the public IP. So you can connect on this method also. So click on basically click on session, click on sh, give the public IP address, specify the username as ec2 hyphen. Okay. And go for the advanced settings. Click on use private key. Okay. Select the location where is your private key. My private key is on keypair folder and Docker KP. This is one more way where you can use to connect to the mobile desktop. So currently I'm using the web server. So from the web server, I'm going to access the app. So you remember, web server can also be called as Bashian host. Bashian host is nothing but if I log in server 2 with the help of server 1, then server 1 is called as Bashian host. Which one? If I'm logging to a private subnet to the public subnet, then I can call it as Bashian host. So click on app server. Now try to just please wait. It's taking a lot of time to respond. Is it login to server now? Just use the command ping. Let's ping to Google. I'm going for google.com. Am I getting the ping now? Yes. So in the same way, I'm gonna ping the IP address of my public server. Why? Because I want to check whether I can be able to get the response from my web server or not. So if I go and see, click on the web, click on the public IP, just go ahead and check this one. Are you getting the ping from web server here? But you can see the data is transmitting. Are you seeing this one? It is not listing, but still the data is transmitting. Or I can give ping 8.8.8.8. Still it is going. Are you seeing data is transmitting here? But for this one, like I'm not seeing the pings here. Okay, but anyway, like it will get the ping. You follow the same process. That's it. And the one more thing I want to tell for is there is a concept of VPC peering. Which one? VPC peering is nothing but, for example, if you go and see, wait, guys, approval table. Okay. Are you seeing peering connection? Peering is nothing but if I want to attach two VPCs, my default VPC want to communicate with other VPC, or let's say I have two VPCs. VPC1 want to connect with VPC2. In that case, I can go for VPC peering. So click on create peering. Here, VPC peering is nothing but peer1. Requester, I want to connect my Netflix VPC with the default VPC. So here I have something called as requester. Who is requesting to connect? Second one, acceptor. Who is accepting the connection? So click on create peering. After that, once you create the peering, go for actions and click on accept the request. So now automatically both VPCs are going to communicate. But again, I need to modify the route tables. Why? Because VPC1 will have one traffic from one CADR. VPC2 will have another traffic. So click on modify route table. So here I'll be going to the default route table as well as Netflix web route table. So click on the routes, click on edit routes. Now I'm going to give the IP address of my default VPC. I'm going to tell this to my VPC here. So if my default VPC, what is the default VPC here? But this is taking a lot of time to load the dashboard. It's making me like very frustrated today. Are you seeing default VPC? Are you seeing the slider here? Copy the slider and give it here. That means if any request is coming from this particular VPC, any request is coming from that particular VPC, go for peering connection. To which peering connection? Peering one. Now automatically, if I get the any request within this range, it will go to my peering range. In the same way, I want to edit the route table of my default also. So go to the default server route table. Yeah. Go to here and again click on routes, click on edit route. Now this time, if any request is coming from this range, if any request is coming from this IP range, okay. Now I need to get a peering, okay. So go here, select on peering and select your peer one. That's it. Now automatically both networks are able to communicate with each other. That is called as VPC peering. What do we call as? VPC peering able to communicate with two VPCs. It can be on same region or it can be on different region or it can be from different account also. For example, you are having an account. That VPC want to communicate with my VPC. Still we can do peering. Still we can do. That's it. So this is the high level concept of AWS. Simply VPC is nothing but wall to our home. Just like we protect our home with the help of the wall, in real time in AWS, we are going to protect our resource with the help of VPC. How many networks we have? Two, public and private. Public will have public IP, but private IP address will not have public. And how many private IP ranges we are having? 10 series, 192, 172 series. Correct. And there is one more thing called subnet masking. Which one? I need to tell you this one. For example, if I go and see, let's take 10.0.0.0/32. Your subnet masking always going to start with 32. If it is 32, the value is 2 power 0, sir. What is the value? 2 power 0. What is the value of 2 power 0? That means only one IP address is allocated. Now if you get /31, so the value will be 2 power 1. For 1 we can use caps, wait. 2 power 1. That means how many IP address will change here? 2 IP address I'll get. Now in subnet if I mention /30, the value will be 2 power 2. That means how many IPs will I get here? 4. Or if subnet is going to be 29, I'll be getting value of 2 power 3. That means how many IP address will I get now? Wait, sorry. That means for /32, only I'll get one IP if I use this subnet mask. Now, if I give the mask of 31, I'll get only 2 IP addresses. For mask of 30, I'll get 4 IP. For the mask of 29, I'll get 8, like this. Okay. Till I'll be getting /0. What I'll be getting? /0. /0 means how many IP addresses will you get? 65,535. Okay. Let me show you. If I go to the concept of subnet masking. Array, wait, man. If I go here, subnet mask table or cheat sheet. So if you have any doubt in the subnet, I will recommend you to see the cheat sheet. Again, whatever the things I said you will be getting the same thing on the cheat sheet also. For example, here if I go to this cheat sheet, if I click on this one, so in the cheat sheet, first of all, it is starting with /32. How many IP address will you get? /31, 2, /34. Like this, if I go to /0, how many IP address will I get, sir? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000, lakhs, 10 lakhs, crores, 10 crores, 100 crores, 429 plus crores. So this many IP address will be getting. But in real time, we go up to 65,000 IP address range only. /16 is the last range. Already we've seen in the VPC. It will start from /16 and it is going to end with /28. Okay. That means in this range only we are going to use, sir. So rest of the ranges are not going to work for us. That's it. So this is the concept of AWS VPC. So now if you are having any doubt or any query online, you can ask me and offline you can go ahead. Of course, VPC is going to be a bit difficult topic, but if you practice, it is going to be very easy for you. Okay. But to make the concept of VPC, use the above diagram, house concept. If the house is clear, then the VPC is going to be very clear for all of you. So online, if you are having any queries, you can raise your hand. And online too. I removed it. I removed it. Okay, but don't worry. You will be getting the same diagram from the documentation also. But their house, home, and not written actually. You could have asked me before. And one more thing, guys. From tomorrow onwards, I'm going to start the Terraform. The first thing I want to tell you for all of you, so start following my LinkedIn. Why? Because in LinkedIn, I'm going to post the important documentation and important things for your Terraform certification. Okay. Let me show you this on a quick way. Let me open my LinkedIn here. So if you go and see my post here, I'm just giving the complete insights for all of you, like how to crack the HashiCorp certification. Okay. So parallelly, like I'm going to teach you the session in the class also. But apart from that, just try to follow this post actually. Why? Because it's going to helpful a lot for you for your certification exam. Like if you are planning for certification, this will be helpful for you. Okay, fine. So that's it for today, guys. Let's meet on tomorrow session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.